I got you now. I got you now.
You've got quite a vocabulary, Mrs. Gabberly.
Another round now. Give me an action word.
I'd like to chew. Go.
How about to grub?
Fine, that'll do.
Go
Now a thing,
grub
if you
on a.
please.
Right, a thing. How about stew?
I think
Why
grub
not?
on a stew
Now
pot,
a
and I like you,
descriptive word, if you
gentlemen.
please.
You.
Mild?
You mild gentleman.
You're good at this.
I think we gotta accuse him of being a gentleman,
A person or a thing.
A person or a thing?
and that'll do it.
Gentleman?
Yes, that's a thing.
Let's try it. You mild gentleman.
Hey,
What is it now?
go grub a stew pot, you mild gentleman.
Hey! You do know how to wound a bloke
All I
with
needed
it.
was gentleman.
Got him that time.
Well, now I've
Serves him right
got
for
more
being such a grumpy
pansies.
old
Can that
grandad.
bring what's her face over?
Would you mind, if I, that is, could you
And is
see
he
your
gonna
way
be able
fit
to take these as well?
lending me that pot of pansies, Mrs. Gabberly?
Come
For business
on.
purposes.
Business purposes? Well, be my guest. I've got bunches of them.
Yoinks. All right. To the yard. Hello, miss.
A pot of purple pansies?
Would
And
you
mine
like
haven't
some?
bloomed yet.
Yeah, well. Have them. There.
Miss Flint, if you'll just take a look at the
Okay,
pansies.
so you don't give them
I
to her,
think
you just
you'll-
replace them.
Told you, Mr. Wallace. I refuse to let those yellow
does
hooligans
she
have the
not look down?
satisfaction of. Oh, purple. You see? They're mending their ways. They just needed a firm talking to,
Let
that's
me
all.
reach your.
Mother forgives you, you naughty little pansies.
Grab the.
Sweet
Yes.
satisfaction, Mr. Wallace.
Yes, indeed. Very
One.
sweet.
One thing. Alright. Air raid sirens. And I have to convince the police officer.
Ah, Mr. Wallace.
Ooh, what's this?
Don't forget, Mr. Wallace. 50 gallons by sunset.
Yeah, I get you.
The sky is blue, and still it rains on yours truly. Why does everything happen to me?
One more.
The sky is blue, and still it rains on yours truly.
Okay, so it's the same ones. Hello.
Have you come to the...
It's not.
You're not going to...
Oh, no. You can count. You're still in a pot.
No point moving.
Not a particularly.
That's not gonna do it. Dog
There's
tag?
no point.
Nope. Sign. Nothing. There's another potted plant over here.
Hey up, Wallace, love. How's business?
I hate to trouble you for another pot of pansies, Mrs. Gabberly.
Oh, no, trouble at all.
Why do I need
Take
more?
it. A gift from one flower lover to another.
So she gives me more flowers. Right.
So, might you be interested in signing up for my honey deliveries, Mrs. Gabberley? Fresh daily.
Maybe.
Oh, I should say so. I'm partial to a spot of honey for my tea.
Waste of money! We'll never see honey for tea, or breakfast for that matter.
Oh, shut up, you. Wallace knows what he's doing. He's got a head for business.
Is that a head? I took it for a parsnip.
Pay him no mind.
If
Say
you'd
yes.
like to sample my honey, Mrs. Gabberley, there'll be a free tasting tonight at Mr. Panier's Tea and Crumpet Festival.
Oh, is that so? Well, I'll have to pop by.
Okay,
I
what
wouldn't
am I
bother.
advancing this?
He'll never make the delivery.
He is not a fan of me.
Your husband seems a trifle miffed.
Don't fret, Pat. He's always miffed about summit. Chin up, Chuck. I'm sure it'll all work out. When will you be bringing the honey to Mr. Panier's?
Sunset.
Soon. I still have one or two technical difficulties to sort out, but I think I'm on the right
Right, I'm trying to
path.
blend up a bunch of ridiculous
The
stuff and
path to
fertilize
oblivion, most likely.
You be quiet!
a whole field of pansies.
So, Wallace, in the honey business now, I hear.
Oh,
This is a
you've
reset.
heard the buzz, have you?
Yeah, it's a reset.
And no...
Couldn't get honey out of a...
Excuse.
Okay, we've done that one.
I think I'll leave that and...
Okay.
Drop by any time.
And to what do I owe the pleasure of this return visit?
Nothing. Left hold down tab is like being in detective mode. So I could shake that.
Caught you! Can't take an old soldier by surprise.
I think we've done most of this conversation, but what do I do
Snails
with a
can predict
snail?
Imminent airborne disturbances? I never learned that in school.
Of course not. They never teach anything useful in schools. But when you hear the sirens, you know I'm right.
Whew.
Have you heard the sirens yet, Major Crumb?
Don't be daft, man. If I had, I'd be in the shelter now. And if I were you, I'd stick close by.
Have you heard the sirens?
Okay. No. Snail.
Good man, Wallace. I see you at least appreciate the seriousness of the situation. Now, spread the word. If people don't believe what an
I
old
could just pick
soldier
the thing
has to
up.
say, perhaps they'll listen to the snail.
Who
Have you
gets
brought it, Mr. Wallace?
a snail? Puddle.
No point in that.
Snail
Forget Mr. Wallace.
in
50 gallons by sunset.
downspout.
I've no reason to do that.
Snail in fountain. Snails are just not entirely certain what I'm supposed to do with a snail here.
Actually, I'd rather not.
Is there some kind of
I think not.
thing that I'm supposed to be sorting
No
out? No. Um.
Hey up, Wallace, love. How's business?
Wait. I haven't been upstairs yet. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
That's the racket Gromit used when he took the cup at the Brambleton Open. Canine did.
There's cheese.
Last night's bedtime snack. Gorgonzola makes a
I
nice
hadn't
change
explored
from
everything. God, this would have
Wensleydale.
been a very, very long season.
Time for a nap. Oh, no, better not.
Is there anything down here? Ooh, trapdoor. Oh, that's the trapdoor that leads through.
Oh? Trap door. This call box has been a boon for Gromit. No matter where he is in the house, he's never far from his master's voice.
Why is there no music on upstairs?
Phew, that'll put me right to sleep.
Noted for later. Well, honestly, I think I got what I wanted. Why can't I go in Gromit's room? Oh. Alrighty, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. We're gonna go talk to this guy
Well, if it isn't Wallace.
about his hat.
I had a notion he'd be nosing round the police station this morning.
How much does a helmet like that weigh?
£8 and 5 ounces. Some days feels more like 80 pounds.
Okay. Let's chuck a bit of cheese in there. Okay, now let's talk to
How
him
long do
again.
you intend to hold my Sniffer 3000, Constable
So it's
Tibbins?
Gorgonzola is in the
As long
helmet,
as the law
and
requires.
crying
It's not
is
malicious. It just
Wensleydale.
malfunction.
Is that
And so
perhaps it? All right.
He's gonna go and talk to him again. Sweet.
You there?
Gorgonzola.
That's more like it. Now you've had time to think, what can you tell me about what happened yesterday? Feel bad about what you did, do you? He's weeping. Maybe this contraption's got feelings after all.
Good, I didn't need to find a third piece of cheese.
Now, I want a truthful answer. If I release you from custody, will you do it again? Well, I'll be damned. The prisoner has been interviewed
yes,
and having exhibited signs of repentance, I am prepared
Nice.
to release him into your protective custody, provided, Wallace, you give me an assurance that you'll keep your blinking eye on him,
I'm gonna take his batteries out and make it into a
or
smoothie.
whatever he answers to.
oh, I'll keep an eye on him, Constable Tibbins. You have my word on that.
Energize. Alright. Last but not least, sirens.
Ah, Mr. Wallace.
And I've got a snail.
Just bear with me for a moment, Mr. Pannier. Major Crumb wanted me to show you this.
That's a snail, Mr. Wallace.
I know.
Why are you showing me a snail?
Why indeed?
Well, it's in its shell, you see. And according to Major Crumb, when a snail goes into its shell during the day, It means we can expect untold airborne activity of an unpleasant nature.
Go home, Wallace, and get some rest. Reckon you've been overdoing the inventing.
I mean, you're not wrong. Alright, are
Hey
you...
up, Wallace, love. How's business?
Well, I would tell you.
Do you know anything about snails, Mrs. Gabberly?
I know they eat them in continental parts.
Well, yes, but do you think there's anything special about this one?
To be honest, I couldn't rightly tell.
Right?
Oh, such a rush.
Just gonna try showing it to everybody.
Show you something, Constable Dibbins.
Someone's gotta be
Is
afraid of it.
important?
It might be.
That's a snail, Wallace.
Do you notice anything peculiar about it?
Only the person what's holding
Maybe
it.
his neighbor is afraid of them. Let's try it out. Basically trying absolutely anything. Like a...
I realize this may seem a trifle irregular, but Major Crumb insisted I show you this.
Oh, and when he shows it to everybody.
Oh,
A snail? In my garden? Have you lost your
Why
mind,
did the major
Wallace?
go into...
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Excuse me. I'm on my way out. Because I've got to steal. Nope. Wait a minute. No. Wait. I can't go anymore.
I wonder where Major Crumb disappeared to.
Well, he probably went in the basement. Air raid shelter, right?
Wallace!
There.
Thank heavens you made it to the shelter. I'd given you up for lost.
May I have a
Caught in the
protein
crossfire,
bar, sir?
no.
Don't mind if I dither-do.
Stop pacing about, Wallace. You're making the rest of the men nervous.
Pardon me, Major. About those protein bars of yours.
Rations, Wallace. Emergency rations for... emergencies, obviously. Been stockpiling them since the war. Enough nutrition in them to feed a man under fire for a whole day.
And very tasty they look, too.
Tasty? They're foul, but packed with high-strength
Yes, I know,
protein.
you've told me all this.
I'd love to try one.
Out of the question, I'm afraid. You don't have clearance. And besides, protein bars are only issued in the event of civil emergencies. Orders are orders, Wallace.
Clearance.
George, this is an emergency. Private Gromit.
Is...
I hereby issue you one protein bar. Guard it well, and see that it lasts you all day. Wallace, here's one for you as well.
Much obliged.
I didn't have clearance. Yeah. Alright, time to go make my
Wait.
smoothie.
Careful, Wallace. You're heading into hostile territory. The enemy has clearly landed, and most likely set up camp in West Wallaby Street. Who knows what the Blighters have done to our once peaceful neighborhood? If you make it back alive, you'll have to give us a full report. In the meantime, eat your protein rations. The protein will keep your strength up, especially if you're captured. Brave lad! We'll keep the home fires burning.
Dang it. Alright. So I need
see,
to...
Private Gromit, I told you he'd make it back to us alive. Our Wallace is a fighter. Bagged
I need to
few
get a
of those
protein bar and
Blighters,
take it
did you?
upstairs?
Gromit, old chum. Slip me that protein bar Major Crumb gave you.
You'll do no such thing, Private Gromit. I gave you your protein bar for the day, Wallace. I won't have you catching another from the enlisted men. What's the news from above, citizen? Chaos and destruction?
Yep.
Don't think they like this sort of thing.
It's a long way to Tipperary, Wallace.
So they say.
Okay, let's put the lid back on.
My workers are very devoted to their queen.
And put the lid back on.
Don't think they like this sort of thing. I thought you might find this useful, Major Crumb.
A helmet! By George, Wallace, there's nothing like a good helmet. Makes a fellow want to put himself in the path of projectiles. If you know what I mean. You've got to get your mind off the carnage up there. Would you like to hear one of my old war stories? I'd help pass the time.
I kind of thought he might wear that as a helmet, but
Of course.
I'm not entirely sure why. Are we trying to get him to
visual aids?
to leave the basement so I can sneak the bar again? Okay, there's some Pikachus here.
What a face!
That's me kitted out for heavy combat. That helmet took many a dent before the war was through. Without it, I could have become seriously loopy. Take my advice, Wallace. Never go into battle without a regulation helmet like the one in this picture. 3 weeks later. Who's that
Okay.
fellow? That's me as a young recruit.
Dog
Off
tags.
to basic training. How I cried when they cut off my golden curls. But I cheered up as soon as they issued me with a beautiful set of dog tags. Dashed useful dog tags if you happen to forget your rank or name. You
So
get
I'm
it
trying to get him
right
brave
there.
enough to head back
Never
out.
go into battle without your dog tags, Wallace.
Here you
I
go.
found these in the hall, Major Crumb.
Dog tags. I've been recommissioned. Bound to happen, of course. Can't leave good military
need a snail.
material sitting on the shelf. My place is in the trenches.
Sounds like you were quite a soldier, Major Crumb.
Well, Wallace, why the past tense?
I don't know.
Oh dear.
Once a soldier, always a soldier.
The music's getting kind of
Something
louder. There's only one.
And I'd be happy to
level
prove it
for
by
volume.
charging into the fray. That is, if I had a set of dog tags and a regulation helmet, which I have. By thunder, I'm a soldier again. Sir George is ready for his dragon. And yet, duty compels me to remain here. No one else to guard the protein bars. Confounded sense of duty.
Okay, what's the third one?
Now there's a sight.
That's me posing with Mother next to my 40mm Bofors. Look at the size of that monster. Big Betty, we called her. The gun, not my mother.
I'd be happy to take charge of the protein bars.
You?
I've made it through without any hints or looking anything up, so this game is pretty intuitive, easy to.
No offense, Wallace old chap, but you're hardly officer material.
Dang it. What about Gromit?
Your heart's set on going into battle, Major Crumb.
No, it is, Wallace. It is.
Well then, I don't see why you shouldn't. Go back upstairs, that is.
But the protein bars.
I'm sure someone else can dispense those.
But who? It's a major responsibility, Wallace. I can't entrust these to just anyone.
I have more purple pansies.
Albert Gromit. Can I entrust my precious cache of
I wondered it was
protein
gonna be that
bars
easy.
to a Pongo? Perhaps so. He's proven himself a trusty foot soldier. Yes. If I am called away to the front, I'd feel comfortable leaving Private Gromit in charge.
But not
Good
Wallace.
heavens. I shouldn't be skulking around in a cellar like a frightened rat. I'm a soldier by thunder. Private Gromit, I hereby appoint you officer commanding this air raid shelter. Here, you pass out the rations. I've got a war to win. Charge!
Video games. It's so easy to take advantage of people's mental health issues.
Now to get my hands on a protein bar. Gromit,
What?
request dispensation of protein bars, soldier.
I'm glad they put that in there. Okay, going upstairs to make the fertilizer. I guess. Okay. So, teabag.
1 dose of strontium into the mix. 1 unit of energite fluid for a creamy finish.
Don't put batteries in a blender.
1 generous chunk of protein to give it texture. Now to mix up my very own quick grow muscle formula.
Because this is how science works.
That ought to do it. No, the mixomatic's all mixed up. Stop! Stop! Help! Gromit! Oh, thanks, lad.
Checking to see if anything's sprouted yet, Mr. Wallace.
Well, as a matter of fact, Miss Flit,
Yeah, don't spread it
Really?
around or anything.
I don't see what you're hoping to. Oh,
But
I
it's just
don't
it
daisies.
works. It works. The homemade quick grow miracle muscle formula works. We're in business now. You see, Gromit, look where a bit of
5
enterprise can
daisies.
get you. If I hadn't found that flyer you chucked in the bin, I'd never have been able to concoct my miracle grow formula.
Oh,
and
dear.
then where would we be? You really must be careful what you chuck out, you know? Blinking Nora.
Oh, my word. I think I'm going to faint.
Oh, good. I can have your purple flowers then. Well,
This ought to be plenty of fuel for the old pollinator.
Whip. Well, all right then. Let's try it out. Giant flowers. Let's go. Is it gonna make 50 gallons of okay.
That's champion, that is. 50 gallons of honey and just in time for my annual tea and crumpet festival. Pleasure doing business with you, Wallace.
Always aim to please our bees. That's the last of our bills, Gromit, and we've got just about enough left over for that little holiday we've been planning. This year,
Was this the whole thing?
thing? Blackpool. Oh, yes, lad. I think our money troubles are over at last.
Air raid! Air raid! Battle
Oh, dear.
stations
Not
everywhere!
this again.
Excellent vantage point. Prepare for a crash landing, you devils! Sorry, Wallace, but I'm going to have to commandeer your dining room.
Now, just a minute, Major Crump.
No time to argue, old man. The whole town's under bombardment.
But
Here they come!
wasn't it, Gromit? Giant bees!
Heaven help the good citizens of West Wallaby Street! Civilians, out!
But
That's an order, Wallace.
I think I may have made
Private
giant
Gromit,
bees.
Kindly escort this civilian from the battle zone.